Okay, so welcome back, and this is where we stopped the last lecture, and we were discussing about the point operations. And I was saying that the most fundamental of point operations is nothing but the histogram. Okay, so what is a histogram? So you might have studied about histogram in your probability and statistics course, right? Or maybe statistics course in your undergraduate studies, right? Histogram, as the name suggests, is something like history of occurrences, right? A plot of frequency of occurrences against the certain things, right? Certain levels, for example. So in this case, so what is the image histogram? Okay, so you'll be using this for many things in the next few weeks or even 2 months from now, right? Histogram is the most fundamental. It's like for a signal processing engineer, the most fundamental thing that they will always do when they get a signal is to take a Fourier transform and see the frequency. Similar to that, as an image processing engineer, your first step is to take the histogram and see whether it makes sense or not. Okay. Now you can improve something based on the histogram alone. Okay. So histogram is defined. The mathematical definition of histogram is something like this. Okay. So H of D, okay, histogram of D. D is nothing but intensity. Okay, so this intensity is anywhere between the allowed minimum intensity to the allowed maximum intensity. So for example, if it is an unsigned int 8 representation of an image, that means the image can take from 0, the intensity 0 to intensity 255, right? The number of times each of these intensities occurring in that image, that the plot of that occurrences against the intensity is what histogram means here. So histogram of intensity. So the independent variable is the intensity. So your x-axis, okay, the x-axis will be intensity, okay, and the y-axis, what is it? It is the occurrence of that particular intensity, number of times that particular intensity is occurring in the entire image. That is, you go through each and every pixel and see whether this intensity is existing in that pixel. If it is, then you increment the count and then you put that total number against that intensity. So finally what you will have a curve. Okay, you have a curve something like this. Okay, so just a minute, sorry, the pen got stuck. So you have a curve something like this, right? The x-axis is your intensity D. Okay, so it can go from 0, 1, right, 2, and so on up to 255. So totally 256 levels, assuming it is an 8-bit unsigned image, right? So if it is this case, so x-axis is this D, and now y-axis is I'm going to count the number of occurrences of the 0th value throughout the image, and I will have some number. I will put it here. Let's say I'm just making up numbers. 1 is very less, 2 is very less. Okay, then maybe it will go something like this, and then it is whitish. Okay, so then this will be your histogram. Okay, so this is the shape of your histogram. Okay, so let me clear it up. Yeah. Okay, so the official definition is something like this. H of D is nothing but the intensity, how many times it is equal to D. You vary X and Y throughout and see how many times it is D. Okay, so let's take an example. So we have an image here. This is an MRI image, and you can see a bone here which is very white. Okay, typical appearance of a bone in a medical image is very bright. Okay, and if I plot the histogram of this is like what it looks like. Okay, so there are certain observations that we can make from this histogram, and you can relate that to the image itself. Okay, we'll come to that. So first of all, it is again an unsigned 8-bit, so it is going from 0 to 255, and the y-axis is the total number of occurrences of each of these intensities. The most important thing that you can note from this image is like this image is on the darker side, right? So obviously, why it is on the darker side? Because the number of pixels which are having intensity towards 0 is higher. That is why it looks like darker, and that's what exactly reflecting in this plot, because the histogram is more peaky towards 0. That means it has more number of occurrences of what pixels with intensity closer to 0. That is why it is dark, right? So it is all interrelated, right? And you can see towards white the number is very less, and the only white region here is this bone, and that is why you see a second peak over here, right? A small peak, but still it is higher than this region, and then it is slowly increasing. So many interesting aspects actually you can bring, I mean, you can think about when we talk about histograms. Okay, so some of them are like this. Now I am going to give you a warning. Okay, so the warning is many images can have same histogram. Okay, so read that sentence 2 or 3 times, because when we go to the histogram from an image, we are essentially losing the spatial information, right? Because histogram only tells me that an intensity 0 is occurring, let's say 9,000 times in the image, but it is not telling me where exactly these 9,000 occurrences are. So I have so many pixels, let's say 256 into 256 pixels in my image. The histogram will not tell me where are the 9,000 occurrences out of these 256 into 256 locations. Where are the 9,000 locations? That information is not known to me. So that means two images, if the number of intensity, number of occurrences are same, they can have the same histogram. They may look different, but they can have the same histogram. If you don't believe me, I will have a simple example. Okay, let's quickly come out of this. I'm going to open the MATLAB window for you. Okay, so I'm going to run a code. Okay, so let me just take that. I'll upload all these, so don't worry. Okay, so even if you don't understand the code, it's fine. I'm going to run this. Okay. Okay, so this is the image. Sorry for the delay. Let me zoom out, zoom in rather. These are two different images, right? But you see the histograms? They're both same. Okay. Both the images have only two intensities. One is on the 64. Okay. So if you're doubting me, I'll show you. So this is 64, index is 64, and this is 192. Okay. So the image intensity range is from 0 to 255. So it is almost like 1/4 of that max, and this is 3/4 of that. So 64 and 192. So if you see this image, 50% of the pixel belongs to 64 and 50% belongs to 192. That is what you are seeing over here. None of the other intensities exist, only 64 and 192. Okay. And then if you go and see this image, here again only two intensities, 192, 64. But the distribution is different. But even then, overall, if you see 50% of the pixels belongs to 64, 50% belongs to 192. And that's why histogram remains same. Amazing, right? So it's really tricky. So you can have the same histogram distribution and you can have different images. The reason why this is happening is because when you move to histogram, you are losing the essence of the spatial distribution of the intensity. You are only worried about the number of occurrences of the intensity. Okay, hope I'm not confusing you, but always keep this in mind. Okay, so coming back to here, so this image has 256 into 256 pixels. Okay, so that's the reason why you are really not seeing the end of it, because it goes so high. So this means, I just want to give you the number here, 256 into 256 by 2, right? So 32,768 pixels belongs to 64 and 32,768 pixels belong to 192. That's what actually happening there. Okay, so coming back to our slide. Okay, so let me just show it. So this should be very clear to you now, and this warning should also go into your mind that same two images which may look different structurally, but they can have same histogram. And we will actually have this example. So we'll definitely have hands-on also on these. So I have the same image, okay, but they are having different contrast. Okay, and if you see here, this image looks dark, and if its histogram is something like this, and you can obviously see from the image itself that you can predict that the histogram will have shape like this. Okay, it will be towards the 0 region because it looks darkish, blackish, so it will be closer to 0, and it doesn't look really good for the eyes. There is some problem. The problem is the contrast, and you can see over here you have the possibility of taking values from 0 to 255, but unfortunately this image is restricted to this region, somewhere maybe between 10 to somewhere around 80. Okay, so above 80 is completely not there, not existing. So that means you are not really using the dynamic range allowed to you. You are allowed to use from 0 to 255, but you are confined to a small region. That is the meaning of low contrast, if somebody didn't understand my explanation from the previous lecture. So this is the meaning of it. And this looks dark, obviously, right? So that both aspects you can see from the histogram. Okay, So it's very clear. And similarly here, opposite of this, right? This image looks dark, but this image looks very bright. Okay. So this is not good for us, right? So it is white. So obviously this histogram will shift from here to whitish side, and you can see this is more distributed than this, obviously. So its contrast is better than this guy because this is more compact, right? So this is wider spread. So this is better. But still, this region is completely occupied. It is starting somewhere from maybe 130. Okay, so above 130 intensity is existing. Remaining, it's not at all existing. So it's not really good contrast. And this is another example which is not extreme black or extreme white. Somewhere in the grayish side, you can assume that because it's somewhere in the middle. So 128 here. Okay, but again, the contrast is very poor. You can obviously see here. And even you can, if you see these three images, one is dark, one is black, one is at gray. That is fine. But in addition to that, if you see here carefully, you can observe that the contrast is extremely poor here, right? And you can see it. Histogram is tightly packed. This is better than this guy. And this guy seems to be the best in terms of contrast. And that is very much illustrated in the histogram. Okay. And now this is our dream image, where contrast is good. You can see it is fully occupying the entire spectrum of 0 to 255, and what you call it is widely spread. So this is like a dream image for us. Okay, and obviously it looks very good to the eyes as well. Okay, so this is a very, very interesting example, right? So just by seeing the image, you may have some intuition of how the histogram is going to look like, and seeing the histogram, I can do a lot of good stuff. Now I can do a lot of stuff using this histogram. So before going to the next operation, I want to again introduce you to some concepts by using MATLAB. Okay, so I'm going back to MATLAB. Okay, so I have a lot of good images for you. Okay, so let me see some of them. I'll try to put some of the good images for you. And I'm having a function of my own. So I'll just introduce you to that function. MATLAB has a built-in function of histogram. Okay, so I'm going to open up the histogram for you. Okay, so this is a histogram looking like. It's nothing but you reading the image, and then you are incrementing the d value the moment you are seeing that particular intensity. So h is basically going from 0 to 255. In this case, 256 levels, and then each time you see a particular number, you just increment to it. Okay, so that is the histogram here. Okay, let's see that. Let me load some image for you. Okay, I will load the same low intensity light image. Okay, so that's the aim. I just need to show you the image for you. Sorry, I'll close this. Okay, this is the image, and let me plot both of them. Okay. This is good. I have a ready-made code here. Okay, so this is the image, and this is a histogram corresponding to this image. Obviously, whitish, low contrast, because this region is not occupied. Now, if you see here, the y-axis is actually quite a large number, right? Because this is nothing but is a representation of the total number of pixels. This is enormous. 500 into 500 is a huge number. So sometimes this 250,000 pixels are there, and that is something like you will lose out the essence of the histogram. So what actually I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate the histogram again, not using MATLAB command, but something like this. Okay, and then probably stem command. Okay, so same histogram. Okay, whatever you show, seen there, it's same. It's my own code which is calculating it, and you can see the distribution. So let me just quickly see the values here. So for example, the intensity 133 is occurring 17,718 times, and intensity 255 is occurring 28,659, and those are something which is based on the number of pixels. Now, an interesting concept I want to put across to you is basically normalization of this. So suppose we know that this y-axis here, right? The y-axis here is nothing but the number of occurrences in terms of the number of pixels, right? So shall I normalize by the total number of pixels? Then you get something interesting, some interesting intuition in histogram. So what I'm going to use is instead of step here, I'm going to divide it by number of pixels, right? So let's say image, okay, number of elements in the image. So then you have something like this. Okay, so here we call it as a normalized histogram. Okay, and if you're coming from probability or statistics background, this has an interesting aspect. Okay, so if I sum all these values, it will go to 1. Okay, 100% I'm saying. And here if I see, okay, earlier I said in terms of number of pixels. Now if you see, 133 is occurring somewhere around 7% of the total number of pixels. That is a literal meaning of it. Okay, so this is a different way to view the histogram. So the intensity 133 is happening 7% of the time. Similarly, let's see this one. Intensity 150 is occurring 6.5% of the, or 6.6% of the total occurrence. And 255 is occurring 11%, 11.5%. Okay, now let's sum this up and see whether really what I was saying makes sense. So let me say sum of, okay, H by element of IMG. Okay, so it's self-explanatory and it should be 1, right? Obviously it should be 1. Now I'm going to introduce something which is very, very interesting to you. Okay, so let me plot it. Okay, so I'm using the same subplot but not the image. Okay, so this will be something which is interesting. So this, let it be stem. Okay, stem of H. Okay, and this one I'm going to do a cumulative sum of my H. Okay, here also I need to normalize this. Okay, so basically I'm dividing the histogram by the total number of pixels. If somebody is still not understanding it, this is the meaning of it. Oh, not H. Okay, now it's correct. So I'm going to divide my histogram by total number of pixels, because histogram is going to give me the number of occurrences in terms of the number of pixels. Now let's make it something like normalized. That's what we are going to do. And now in the second one, I want to put the cum sum. Okay, so this is very, very interesting, and this is the most fun aspect in image processing. Okay? So let's actually see that what is going to happen. Okay, let me drag it out. Okay, very, very interesting plot. Okay, so just spend some time on this. So as I said, this is something now like a probability distribution or a likelihood distribution. Okay, so in the image given, what is the image given? Image given is that light image. Okay, let me just take it outside. So this is the image. Okay, don't forget that. Okay, so in this image, the histogram, the normalized histogram is something like this, and this figure shows me that almost 11% of the time I experience white in that image. I don't know where exactly the white comes, but I can tell you that 11% of the time white or the 255 intensity is actually going to happen in the image. That's the likelihood of that. Okay, or the not likelihood, I should not say likelihood, probability of white is 11.5%, or 255 intensity level is 11.5%. Now what is happening here? So this is something like the cumulative density function that you have in the probability and statistics. If you don't understand that, don't worry about it. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, so the whole thing I need to put it across is something like, okay, now you observe this curve. It actually shows, okay, till, let's say this point, till 149, what is the probability of, so the probability of pixels with intensity up to 149, what is it? 12.5%. Perfect, because if you see over here, till 149, which is somewhere here, you hardly have any number of occurrences. Any of these pixels are occurring, so it is understandable, right? And let's take this pixel exactly. Okay? So this is 133. So I am sure it is here. Okay, so this is 132. So up to this is 133. So up to 132, none of the intensities are existing. That is exactly here. So you put it in terms of probability. Okay, that's a fun part. Actually, I hope you are also enjoying this. So probability of finding the intensity, the intensities up to level 132 is 0 in this image. Absolutely makes sense, right? Because you don't find those intensities. And then you see a sudden jump. So 133 is occurring 7% of the time. And that is why, if you see here, there is a sudden slope, sudden increase. The slope is increasing rapidly. That means there is a huge intensity concentration suddenly happening. Suddenly 133, till 132, none was existing. 133 suddenly started to appear 7% of the time. And you can see that. And similarly here, you can see all these cases. Okay. So you take any of them. It's very, very interesting. Let me just move it across. Okay, so you can see over here. So let's put here. So the probability of all the pixels existing till intensity 199. Okay, so the probability of all the intensity levels up to 199 is 51.8%. That means till the levels 199, okay, intensity levels up to 199 occupies 51.7% of the entire pixels. Make sense, right? Okay. And suddenly, for example, the last pixel is having 11%. That is why you're seeing a lot of big slope here. Okay. So we'll stop here this lecture. Another quick lecture. Okay. I'm sure you'll be enjoying short and crisp lectures rather than a monotonous 1 hour lecture, right? I hope so. So the takeaway from here is histogram is our friend. It's a primary tool. It's like the paracetamol for us. Whenever we get an image, the first thing that we should see is everything is okay with the histogram. Okay. And you can always normalize the histogram to avoid the pixel number coming into the picture. And then you can express everything in terms of percentages like this. Okay. And you can have a cumulative density function, which exactly shows you even the probability up to certain level. You can say how much is existing. Okay. And from histograms in general, you can see whether the image is too much whitish or too much blackish, or the contrast is low. All these things you can actually judge by just observing the histogram. Okay. So with that, we will stop this lecture, and we will resume in the next lecture. Okay. Thanks for joining.